A single fresh cattle hide can weigh more than 25 kilograms. It is wet, heavy, rough, and extremely easy to ruin. If it is not processed quickly and correctly, its value can disappear fast. But inside this modern factory, that heavy raw material is not wasted. It enters a steel-powered production line where high-pressure water, chemical vats, giant rotating drums, pressing machines, stretching frames, drying chambers, and skilled workers transform raw hide into high-value material. This is the process of turning Brahman cattle hide and horn into finished products: leather for bags, boots, belts, furniture, and polished horn for combs, buttons, handles, and handcrafted accessories. At the receiving area, everything is immediately separated into two streams. The hide goes toward the wet processing zone. The horn goes toward the cutting, grinding, and polishing zone. Each batch is weighed, inspected, coated, and entered into the traceability system. In high-quality manufacturing, there is no such thing as "we don't know where this came from." Every hide and every horn batch needs a record. Large Brahman hides are spread onto inspection tables. Workers check thickness, tears, scratches, folds, and surface consistency. The best sections can become premium leather. Slightly flawed sections may be used for smaller accessories. Lower-grade areas can still be used for industrial applications. On the other side, Brahman horns are sorted by size, curve, color, and condition. At this stage, they do not look beautiful at all. The surface is rough, the tips are uneven, and the colors are mixed. But the workers are not looking at a pile of waste. They are seeing amber-like patterns, dark smoky veins, marble-like textures, and small finished products with surprisingly high value. The conveyors start moving. Steel doors open. High-pressure spray systems power up. The tanning drums begin to turn. From this moment, Brahman hide and horn officially enter their industrial transformation. The first stage is cleaning. Huge hides are placed on stainless steel conveyors. Immediately, rows of high-pressure nozzles blast water from multiple angles, sweeping across the surface like an industrial rainstorm. Preserving salt, dirt, impurities, and loose residue are washed away. The hide enters heavy, dull, and chaotic. It comes out cleaner, more open, and ready for deeper processing. You could call this a spa treatment, but this is the factory version. No soft music, no essential oils, just stainless steel, pressurized water, and the steady roar of machinery. After washing, the hide moves into large soaking vats or specialized rotating drums. This is where chemistry begins to step in. Temperature, pH level, soaking time, and chemical concentration are all controlled by sensors. The goal is to soften the collagen structure, remove unwanted material, and prepare the hide for tanning. The giant drums rotate slowly. The hides tumble, turn, and absorb the solution more evenly. From the outside, it almost looks like a massive washing machine. But inside, the structure of the hide is changing layer by layer. Raw hide was originally a tough biological shield. After soaking, it begins to become an industrial material, something that can be pressed, stretched, dyed, coated, and sewn. Next comes the fleshing machine. The hide passes through rollers and industrial scraping blades that remove excess tissue from the backside. The blades must be sharp enough to clean the hide, but not so aggressive that they damage the main fiber structure. After that, the hide passes through a water pressing machine. Two large rollers press evenly across the surface, squeezing out excess moisture. A thick hide goes in, gets flattened under controlled pressure, and slides out much neater than before. It is not beautiful yet. It is not luxurious yet, but it is no longer the raw hide from the beginning. It has become a semi-processed material, ready for the most important stage, tanning. After preparation, the Brahman hide is loaded into tanning drums. These are giant rotating drums capable of processing many hides in one batch. Once the drum door closes, the automated system calculates the hide weight, solution volume, temperature, rotation speed, and processing time. Inside, tanning agents penetrate the collagen structure, helping the hide become stable, durable, resistant to decay, and less likely to become stiff and brittle. This is the moment the hide truly changes identity. Before this stage, it was a biological material that could easily break down. After tanning, it becomes a material that can last for years in handbags, boots, belts, or premium leather furniture. When the drum opens, the hides continue through pressing machines, thickness calibration, and splitting machines. The splitting machine is one of the most satisfying pieces of equipment in the entire line. A large hide enters between pulling rollers and an extremely sharp horizontal blade. The machine cuts the hide to a programmed thickness, separating the main leather layer from secondary layers. The back area is usually stronger and more uniform. The belly area is softer and stretches more easily. The edges often have more folds and irregularities, so one hide is never treated as one identical piece of material. It is divided by purpose. The best area goes to premium products. Smaller usable sections go to accessories. Lower grade sections go to industrial applications. After splitting, the hide moves to the hydraulic stretching frame. The leather is clipped at dozens of points around a metal frame. The machine slowly pulls it in 4 directions. Wrinkles open. The surface becomes flatter. The dimensions become more stable. This scene is extremely satisfying. A wrinkled, heavy, difficult piece of material slowly turns into a flat sheet, almost like a natural map being stretched open. But stretching is not just for looks. It reduces shrinkage, stabilizes the surface, and prepares the leather for drying, dyeing, and finishing. If the tension is too weak, the leather stays wrinkled. If the tension is too strong, the collagen fibers may be damaged. So every setting must be precise. After stretching, the leather enters the inspection zone under bright white lights. Workers and industrial cameras check for scratches, holes, thin areas, and weak fiber zones. Qualified leather is marked as Grade A. Leather with minor flaws becomes Grade B. Leather that does not meet surface standards is redirected to another product line. In this factory, no material moves forward just because it looks okay. To become premium leather, it must survive the inspection lights. After inspection, the leather enters the finishing area. This is where the material begins to receive its final appearance. First comes dyeing. The leather is placed into dyeing drums or industrial spray systems. The color does not simply sit on the surface. It penetrates into the fiber structure. Depending on the final product, the leather may become classic brown, deep black, natural tan, or other premium tones. After dyeing comes drying. This step sounds simple, but it can easily ruin the leather. Dry it too hot, and the leather becomes stiff. Dry it too fast, and the surface may shrink or crack. Dry it too weakly, and the leather holds too much moisture and becomes unstable. So temperature, humidity, and drying time are continuously controlled. The leather moves through warm air drying chambers slowly and evenly. Once dry, the leather is still not soft enough. It goes into the softening machine. This machine bends, vibrates, presses, and stretches the leather repeatedly to break down stiffness after drying. Each sheet is flexed rhythmically through mechanical rollers, almost like the factory is giving the material a serious industrial massage. The result is visible almost immediately. The leather becomes softer, more flexible, more elegant in the way it folds and hangs. It no longer feels rough and rigid. It starts to feel like real premium material. Next comes surface coating. A thin protective layer is sprayed or rolled onto the leather to improve color durability, light scratch resistance, gloss, or matte texture. For a natural look, the coating is kept very light. For a more uniform finish, the leather may be rolled or embossed. Finally, the leather is polished. Soft rollers move across the surface, making the finish smoother, deeper, and brighter. Under the factory lights, the Brahman leather now looks completely transformed. It is no longer the wet, heavy hide from the beginning. It is no longer wrinkled, rough, and difficult to control. Now, it is flat, evenly colored, soft, durable leather ready to be cut into wallets, boots, belts, handbags, or premium furniture panels. Each sheet is folded, stacked, labeled with color code, thickness code, quality grade, and batch information, then moved into finished material storage. Brahman hide has now passed through water, chemicals, pressure, heat, blades, stretching frames, and finishing machines. In simple terms, it has just survived a very serious industrial training program before entering the world of premium goods. While the leather is being finished, Brahman horn follows a completely different production line. First, the horns are washed and soaked to clean the surface. Then the inner core is removed, leaving only the hard outer horn shell. At this stage, the horn still does not look impressive. It is rough, dull, unevenly curved, and full of mixed colors. But once it enters the grinding area, everything begins to change. Scraping and grinding machines remove the rough outer layer. Horn dust is pulled into a filtration system. Thin layers of material are taken away, and underneath them, natural patterns begin to appear. Some horns reveal brown amber-like veins. Some have dark smoky tones. Some show light and dark patterns like marble. The most special part is that no two horns are exactly the same. Each one carries its own natural map. After rough grinding, the horn moves to cutting machines. For buttons, the horn is cut into small slices. For combs, it is cut into long, flat pieces. For knife handles, tool handles, or handcrafted accessories, thicker sections are preserved for strength. Some horn blanks are heated so they can be flattened or shaped. This is a very sensitive step. If the heat is too low, the horn will not soften enough. If the heat is too high, the surface may burn or deform. So workers must control temperature, timing, and pressure very carefully. After shaping comes polishing. This is the most beautiful stage of the horn line. The horn blank is pressed against a high-speed polishing wheel. The dull outer surface begins to disappear. The natural veins brighten. The colors become deeper. The surface changes from rough and matte into something smooth, glossy, and almost gem-like. A piece of horn that once looked like waste can now become a premium button, a handcrafted comb, a knife handle, eyewear detail, fashion accessory, or decorative object. After polishing, every product goes through final inspection. Are there cracks? Are the edges burned? Is the shine even? Are the natural patterns attractive? Is the size correct? Approved products are sorted, boxed, and labeled by batch. At the end of the factory, the two material streams meet again. On one side, soft, durable, evenly finished Brahman leather. On the other, hard, polished Brahman horn with unique natural patterns. Leather gives the product luxury. Horn gives it a handcrafted signature. One material is soft and wide, ready to be cut and sewn. The other is hard and compact, ready to be carved, shaped, and polished. And that is what makes this process so impressive. The factory is not just processing byproducts. It is redefining value. From raw hide to wallets, boots, bags, and belts. From rough horn to combs, buttons, handles, and accessories polished like organic gemstones. From something heavy, rough, and difficult to control, into finished products that make people stop and ask, how is it possible that this started as raw hide and horn? And that is the power of modern manufacturing.